In this video, we're going to go over a couple of graphical things to make your design sheets pop a little bit more. I'm going to start down here with level 1, and these are actually in the sheet, but we can do it up here in the actual floor plan as well, but this is just the view on the sheet. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we want to make these walls pop a little bit more. And this is, I guess, more so something for design sheets, not necessarily when you get into later into the construction drawing process, but we just want to make the sheets a little more evident. So what I'm gonna do here, and there's a number of different ways to do this. The first way is you can just click on a wall. You can click up here over into the override graphics in view. You can click category, and we can change the cut pattern, background or foreground. This is, I guess, a newer thing in Revit, and it has to do with I guess where the elements are. I just typically do foreground, but if you find that you're having a problem, you can do background as well. So I'm going to change the color to black, and I'm going to change the pattern to solid fill, and it's going to fill all those walls in nicely. So this might be a case where we want to do foreground. I'm just going to check this. I don't know why those other walls. Actually, I wonder. The view, so that should be fine. Just change these to black as well, just to make sure. So this project is a conceptual massing project, and I just noticed that the actual, I'm just going to find that there, and if you can't really find it, I'm just going to click over the edge and you can hit tab to find it. So this actual mass is actually showing right now on the floor plan, which is why the interior part is gray. So we're just going to hide that mass in this view, and there now all of our walls are black. So we're going to go up here to the second floor view for a second, and the first thing I notice here is there's actually an underlayment on. This is super useful when you're moving things around in design, but you don't want to have this on when you're printing stuff to PDF. We just want to see the view that you're using. And so over here, I'm going to go into. I'm going to go down to the first floor for a second. I'm going to go into view. I'm going to go into here. I'm going to create a template from current view. I'm going to call this architecture sample. So I'm just going to verify that it moved those overrides. It might not have. Okay, yeah, so it did move our overrides over. So now all I have to do is go up here. And I guess actually before I do that, I usually turn off a few things in this. I turn off scale, I turn off detail level, and I turn off view range. And the reason why I do that is those are things that might vary based on the plan, and you sometimes want to have more control over those in particular view. So I'm just going to click that. Now I'm going to go over here and click View Template, and click our one we need here, and I'll make everything in black. And we just have the same thing. We have our mass here, so we'll just hide that mass in that view. And there we go. Just going to do a couple of things to clean up the graphics. I personally don't like seeing these elevation tags. They might be good for construction drawings, but I think it typically, I don't know, I just think it clutters the drawing. And then the other thing is this refrigerator tag is showing. So I'm just going to select like that, and I'm going to click specialty equipment maybe. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to hide that. Or we can go up here and we can click show label, and it'll make the label disappear. And it'll unfortunately take it off of over here, but I think this is pretty self-explanatory that it's not there. Or, as I was about to do, you could actually just hide that refrigerator in that view. So that's looking pretty good. I'm going to go to the next sheet here. So for this, we don't want to show trees that hide portions of the elevation, or if we do, I think the best thing to do is to hide them completely, but if you really want to show them, turn the transparency up to 100%, and that way we can still see what's going on with that view. For these design sheets, I think this sheet is a little bit cluttered, so I'm just going to move these two down. I'm going to increase the scale of these two views so they fill the page a little bit more. And these level lines, completely up to you if you want to show them or not. I find they're a bit distracting, but if you really wanted to show them, I'd recommend going into Override Category and make them half-tone so they disappear a bit. And then now we could actually we could do Override by category for these trees here, and yeah, so they're 100%. And then we can do the same thing we did before and go to View, create a view template, brick sample elevation, and then we can just apply this. I'm just going to select all four of these elevations over here, apply this to all of them here. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to Poché this ground in. So we're just going to go over here to the arc sample, and I'm going to go down to Topo, and we're going to do cut pattern. I'm going to make this gray, a light gray. So it's not too overpowering, but it actually we don't want that. We want the line there. So light gray. Solid fill. Turn it on for both the foreground and background. I don't know why that's not showing like that. Let's see if this works. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this area here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to also bring up the region here. So we're not really cutting through it, so we don't really need to see the ground. I think if we had a section, and we'll do that for a second after, I'm just going to show maybe a little bit of that. And then we'll just create a new sheet here. I'm going to make this number 5, make this number 4, and we're just going to do a new sheet, make this number 3, and I'm just going to drag over our other two. So we got west and east, so we'll drag over north and south over here. So I want to bring these in. This view showing on the sheet like that. Really don't need to show all those trees there. Don't need to show all the ground either. Something like that. Same for over here. And these view regions, they don't actually print crop regions here, so You can leave the lines on if you want. It might be a bit distracting while you're working through stuff, but they don't actually print, so you don't need to turn them off if you don't want to. So there we have it. We've cleaned these up just a little bit. And that's how you poché in the walls and clean up some of the graphics on your presentation.